We have finally reached the end of the road to Unforgiven. We have the go home Raw, and then tomorrow we will go over the go home SmackDown, which is overall the go home, the real go home show. But here we are. The road to Unforgiven is almost over, and
Yes.
like I said, tomorrow we're doing the final SmackDown. So maybe we will be doing the pay per view on Friday. We will see.
Ooh.
And Friday's the big day where we'll finally start announcing the next road too.
Yeah.
Well, I'll announce mine, then you can announce what you're going for after that. And
uh,
the we're not announcing any future shows will be back in effect because we'll most likely have 20 plus shows to go over after that. Oh, by the way, I should have told you this off air, but or off live stream, but was it? You came in late, so you always come in late, so we don't have much time to go over shit
I'm
before.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. But so a little bit of a spoiler alert. You were planning on doing an '05 road to. I don't have the. I
Potentially.
have. Yeah, I have no ways of watching the '05 Raws right now.
Have you tried Daily Motion?
I don't know if I can find all of them on Daily Motion. I don't know.
I should
Daily
pick a
Motion
SmackDown.
has.
I
Oh,
should pick a SmackDown. Or you can always ask your friend Vinny for some help.
who the hell's Vinny? Oh no, that uh, those are not the same amount of Raws that are on Netflix currently are on Netflix. If I ask my buddy Vinny to help me out,
Man.
yeah.
I thought your friend I thought our friend Vinny would have still have them on Peacock in
Oh
other
no, no,
countries.
no, no,
So,
because
so we have to either
Raw.
hope that WWE uploads the whole 2005 Raw collection on YouTube.
Well, it's not gonna go on YouTube. It's gonna go on fucking Netflix at some point. I don't know what the hell Netflix is waiting for. They put up a couple of episodes for every year, and well, not even every year because there's a lot of years missing.
Yeah,
But it's not even. I don't even think a
they're,
single '05 episode is even on
they're
it.
still trying to use AI to figure out how to digitally remove Benoit.
Mhm. They're not removing Benoit. They
There's
didn't remove.
there's there's no WrestleMania 20 ending. Instead, it's just everyone dancing together, or
No,
either that or Kane and Undertaker main event WrestleMania 20.
no, I think. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Kane and Undertaker was after Angle and Eddie. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So we are now on the September 17th, 2001 edition of Monday Night Raw. And we kick it off with
The world has changed just a teeny little bit
yeah,
since our last show.
they kicked the show off where you see like a wide shot of the ring and the Titantron, not the Titantron, but like the mini Tron where the entrance
Yeah.
is has the American flag on it, and Lillian's in the ring. It's looking like she's gonna do the anthem all over again, but
Yeah.
they're just showing the crowd. Everybody's got some people got some cool signs. One guy's got a USA is tough enough type sign, and they're going over the crowd, and JR's talking about what happened and everything, and that's the end of that. Now, once again, we open a weekly. So this is the go home Raw. This is the last
Yeah.
fucking Raw before the pay per view, and we're opening with a match. But I
Yeah.
should expect it.
It's the goddamn terrorists. If they didn't attack, if the attack didn't happen last Tuesday, we would have opened with a 55-minute segment. But instead, we have to open with a match. Fucking terrorists! God damn it, Osama.
You should expect it after with the way this. So this is we've only had like two shows that have opened up with building up to the actual pay per view, or at least building up to the main event of the night. But So now we know why the Dudley Boys had this random ass tag title, or excuse me, number one contenders victory when Undertaker and Kane were going to face Chronic at the pay per view. Well, the reason is because both of those, the Undertaker Chronic match, Undertaker and Kane versus Chronic match, is not for both tag titles. And here's why. We open up the show with the Dudleys challenging for the WWE Tag Team titles against Undertaker and the returning, he's back, the returning Kane. We have not seen Kane. I think we've seen him one time on the build up to the pay per view. I think he, but obviously, I think he was serious. I think he was legitimately injured. So you
Through
can't blame me.
Hellfire and Grimstone.
uh, so this match ends after Chronic does a run in. They put so there's a table waiting on the outside. Obviously, it's a Dudley's match. There's a table involved, and Chronic runs out. Kane's on the outside, and Chronic picks up Kane and kind of slams him through the table. They both like choke. I guess they choke slammed him or something. 2-man choke slam or something. I can't remember. It was either that or like a 2-man spine buster. Something through the table, and then Dudley Boys, I think, hit a 3D on Undertaker or something, and then they got the pinfall. What?
I can't believe it. The American Badass lost
Yeah,
a
uh,
week.
but but you gotta build up for the pay per view. They're trying to do a 4 team
Hmm.
elimination match for the tag title, so you got to get the tag titles off Undertaker and King. So
You know they
3D.
should
Go ahead.
they should have cut to an eagle cross, single tear falling down. An American, a bald eagle. Taker and Kane have lost. My God, it's Tuesday all over again.
So Taker gets the 3D. Dudley Boys get the pinfall victory. Um, and there's your new tag champs. We've made fun of the fact that they were the number one contenders because obviously you and I both thought that. And again, I haven't seen Unforgiven '01 in a long time. I haven't seen some of these Raws in a long time, so I didn't remember. I thought that Undertaker and Kane versus Chronic was for both the WWE and WCW titles, and I had no idea what the 4 team. I thought the 4 team elimination was let's just get some of these guys on the show. But no, it's for the WWE tag titles. And there you go. Dudley Boys win. So now both tag titles will be on the line in 2 different matches on the pay per view. So I like that. Um, and the match itself, like I said, the match was just to get the tag titles off Undertaker and Kane and to build up Chronic versus Undertaker and Kane and also kind of somewhat build up this 4-man elimination because now it's for the 4 team elimination because now it's for those tag titles. What do you think about this opening match here? New tag champs.
I thought it was fine. I mean, if you're going to take the tag titles off of the Brothers of Destruction, might as well give it to the Dudleys.
Yes.
But they also keep Taker and Kane strong because it's not a clean loss. It's a you
Right.
get fucked up kind of loss. So he makes
Right.
the Dudleys look strong because they won the titles. Obviously, makes Chronic
Mhm.
look like, oh my god, these guys are actually dangerous, and Taker and Kane are still doing pretty well too. So
Now,
it also gives like a reason for the freaking 4-man tag match to even happen.
right, exactly. And now we at least follow up an opening match, a show opening with a match with 3 straight backstage segments here. Chronic is with Steven Richards here. They're kind of like leaving the arena after costing Undertaker and Kane the WWE titles when they bump into Shane McMahon. And Steven Richards kind of like, hey, this is Chronic, and Shane McMahon's like, yeah, I've been scouting you guys for a long time now. Welcome, welcome to and so Steven Richards is like, well, guess what? Chronic here just cost Undertaker and Kane the WWE tag titles, and uh, Shane McMahon's like, obviously, well, great, that's great, and Steven Richards is like, hey, look, we'd love to be in the alliance. And Shane McMahon says once again, like, look, I've been scouting you guys for a long time. You're all in. And he just daps them all three up, Chronic and Steven Richards. Like, yeah, you're all in. And in fact, you guys are going to get a WCW Tag Team Titles shot this Sunday at Unforgiven against Undertaker and Kane. So that is one. A lot of matches were announced on this show, or
Yeah.
at least there was some of the lower card matches that they weren't really building up start to get built up. I don't think they were all necessarily announced, but we will get to all that later. The next scene, I mean, we got Hurricane discussing with Lance Storm that he needs a sidekick. Lance Storm is like, "Well, you already got Ivory," which I agree with. I mean, like, why would you not want Ivory as your sidekick? But Hurricane says that Ivory is only 99.44% pure, and he needs someone who is 100% sure. Um, and that's where he says, "You know what? I think I know who I want my sidekick to be." And then he, floats away like he always does. And now we have, yep, there you go. And now we have RVD just sitting in Austin's dressing room. Austin's not there. Austin and Deborah just literally walk into the dressing room, and RVD sitting there with the on the couch, the hardcore title laying on the couch, and it's like, and Austin obviously is like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "Well, I knocked. I came in. You weren't there." He's like, "Well, you could have knocked and waited," but RVD just for some reasons like this is essentially the leader of the alliance, and I'm just gonna walk straight into his dressing room. I don't care. And yeah, well, that's what else happens here. Yeah, so essentially, like Austin's just kind of pissed off about Van Dam kind of walking into the dressing room. That was a decent segment. What do you think of all three segments there?
I found it entertaining how RVD really does not give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. Like, oh, the door was open. I knocked. Therefore, therefore, I can just go right in.
There you
And
go.
just like showing the lack of respect that he has for Austin. Because if it was somebody like Shane McMahon or Stephanie, I don't think he'd be doing that.
Obviously not. Obviously not. But also, again, we're somewhat getting to No Mercy here, where the
Yeah,
main event is obviously the triple threat and the question of is RVD gonna defect and join W. So they're slowly beginning to build that. So that was part of that, I think. But what about Shane McMahon introducing Chronic to the Alliance and then giving them a tag title shot?
I mean, what was Shane? What was Steven Richards' plan if Shane said, "Yeah, I don't want Chronic." Like, I don't want a Chronic. Why would I want you guys? I've been scouting you. You guys are dog shit.
I
I
guess
don't I don't
I
know
guess
what scouts Shane was using, but they were wrong.
he would have had to join the Dudleys because he just helped the
Yeah,
Dudleys win WWE tag titles. I guess, but then I guess what are you gonna do with facing Undertaker and Kane? They gotta be in a 4-team elimination match.
yeah,
And Steven Richards' whole thing, the whole reason why he came back was because he wanted to get payback on Undertaker for disbanding RTC.
well, I would think the Chronic would already be in the alliance because they're former WCW people.
Right,
Like
but that
I thought it was anybody who debuts from WCW was automatically a alliance member.
that's not how they did it here. Even when they debuted a couple weeks ago, the September 3rd show, Paul Heyman was like, "These guys aren't an alliance. They're not." So they were kind of questioning it, making it, are they here to be alliance guys? Or no, I think he said that when Steven Richards debuted. They're like, is
Yeah,
Steven Richards part of the alliance? And Paul Heyman was like, he's not alliance. Get out of here. So now so they kind of made it a question mark just to build here where Shane McMahon brings them in. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the
You know,
segment was good. What do you think
yeah,
of the Hurricane looking for a new sidekick?
I still love how much of a straight man Lance Storm is,
Yeah.
and a freaking Hurricane Steiner math right there. Well, she's only 99.4%. Good. I
Pure,
got
pure, pure.
pure.
Yeah.
I gotta, I gotta find a new sidekick. Hey, Molly.
Oh, you spoiled it. You
No, no,
spoiled.
no, no, no. I could have said anybody. I could have
No,
said mommy. Hey, mommy, wanna be my?
I thought I thought this was funny. Anything with
Yeah,
Hurricanes, good comedy. So yeah, that was a fine three fine little backstage segments there. Now we have
yes.
Lance Storm taking on Jeff Hardy. I thought this was okay. Crowd was into it. Obviously, they're behind Jeff Hardy. Um, Let me see. But in the end, Lance Storm gets the victory, and he actually got it by submission with the half crab. What do you think of Lance Storm versus Jeff Hardy?
This was certainly a match. It was a. It was fine. I mean, Jeff's pretty good, so
Again, we're building the 14
yeah.
elimination. This is both of them being in that match. Jeff with the Hardys and Lance Storm, obviously with Hurricane, and potentially a new sidekick, maybe. Maybe I don't know. Uh, Maybe Ivory's going to be in their corner for the pay per view, or will there be a new sidekick? Don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
Now we move on. Not much else to say about that match. We see Stephanie for the first time tonight, so the
Yeah.
show is picking up here big time. Shane questioned Stephanie's logic in the handicap match last week, saying, "Look, you almost got." He's showing her footage of last week where Rock nearly hits the rock bottom on her. Test breaks it up. Shane's like, "Look, you almost got rock bottom there." Stephanie's like, "But I didn't." And then Stephanie says, "By the way, we're having a rematch here tonight. Stephanie and Tess versus Rock once again." And so Stephanie says, "Unlike last week, I will not be at on commentary. I'm going to be in this match." Now, as I mentioned, a lot of the matches are going to come to fruition here. We're going to figure them out. I don't know if they're necessarily going to be announced. One of them obviously was announced there with Undertaker and Kane taking on Chronic, but another match comes to fruition for the pay per view. Was what I mean. Another match comes to fruition here as we have Sean Stasiak, and obviously right after we see Stephanie, now we see Stacy, and obviously Stacy looks amazing as well. Sean Stasiak taking on Perry Saturn.
Oh boy.
Not much of a match here, but it's what happens after the match
Yes,
that is,
yes,
yes,
yes.
that is important. And a funny segment here. We finally, after all this time, but again, this was meant to be a slow build, so I understand. But we finally have the announcement, and I think that dog out there is very excited to know what happened to Moppy.
Yeah, that outside dog, which sees the mailman, is just dying to know what happened to Moppy. Who has Moppy?
That's why he's barking at the mailman. It's like, what happened to
Hey,
Moppy? Who took Moppy?
tell me, you son of a bitch!
We finally figure out
Who is
because
it?
right after the match, and before the match too, they even ran a promo video, a vignette type video where it shows like the history of the whole story where Moppy gets taken and all that. And they
Yeah,
also showed at one point, this was long before the build up to the pay per view that we're building up here, but at one point Terry tells Perry Saturn it's either me or Moppy. Perry Saturn picks Moppy. And then not too long after that, Perry Saturn's in a match. I forgot who it was, but he's got Moppy at ringside. Moppy disappears somehow. in the middle of that match. I don't know. Somebody takes Moppy and nobody sees it, and like it's right in the like nobody sees it.
No
Okay.
one's paying attention. What can I say? It's a Perry Saturn match.
So after that, we go through the match. The match was nothing special, but well, except for the fact that Stacy Keibler was sitting ringside, obviously. But other than that, the Terry shows up on the Titantron and is like, "Do you want to know where Moppy is?" Well, she's right beneath my legs, and they cut down. The camera cuts down, and you see Moppy is tied to a piece of wood, and there's a freaking woodcutter it's laying right on the woodcutter, about to be pushed in, and who else but Raven is
Son of a
there?
bitch.
And
Oh,
it
son
was
of a
Raven.
bitch.
It was Raven all along, with the help of Terry, I guess.
Even his immediate family believed it.
And what was I gonna say here? Oh yeah, this is the problem. You don't want to have two women, because at some point one of the women is going to get so jealous that she will murder the other one. And sadly, that's what happened here.
Yeah, yeah.
With the help of Raven, Terry murders Moppy. And we hear Raven sort of mocking a fake Moppy voice, go like, "Oh no, don't!" And he's punching the
No,
mop.
no, hold on. That wasn't a fake. That was the real voice of Moppy.
So
What are you talking about, fake voice?
he punches Moppy. He gets actual duct tape and puts it over Moppy's mouth, and then
My God.
pushes it into the compactor, and the damn compactor jams. So Raven's got to stand there for a couple of seconds, doing like mocking of the sound of a
Ah!
mop, the sound of a mop that has tape over its mouth. This was a very entertaining segment. What are you gonna do about the compactor? The compactor jammed. That's nobody's fault, really. That's just machine error. But that's what happened. Other than that, this was a really funny, little entertaining segment, and we finally figure out who abducted Moppy, and hopefully on the yes, rest in peace, Moppy. I was wondering, you didn't have a bottom. You didn't have a
I didn't
bottom
want to. I
thing
didn't want to spoil it.
um, but yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I hope that on the real Go Home show, the next SmackDown, that we get something out of Perry Saturn and Raven here, because yes, it's a slow build. They chose to finally reveal it on the second to last weekly show, but hopefully we get something out of them next week. We will get to that tomorrow. But after that, we have Stephanie McMahon
Well,
complaining to what? Go ahead. Oh yeah, what did you think? Oh, my fault.
yeah.
What did you think of the Moppy segment here? The end of Moppy.
Well, folks, that was not part of tonight's entertainment. We've just witnessed a murder on live television. You're right, JR. Not since Tuesday have we seen such a horrific attack live on television. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
We're so now. I know we say we're not doing tribute shows. So does that mean we can't review the next SmackDown since it's obviously going to be a tribute show to Moppy?
You're gonna have
They're
to
going to
every
put
wrestler is going to sit in front of a camera and be like,
10 bell salute.
I remember Moppy. Moppy was a great mop. And obviously,
yeah,
Raven and Terry are barred from the event.
yeah.
So,
You, you get William Regal like, I don't know. Something about that mop. I don't. My condolences to Perry Saturn, but I don't know about that mop.
oh my!
Suspicious William Regal. at every freaking familiar during the 9/11 episode. He's like, I don't know about those twin towers. My sympathies for the people who died.
So William Regal is one of those 9/11 was an inside job guys.
Steel beams do not melt.
Oh boy. Yeah, rest in peace to Moppy. Absolutely.
I can't believe it. In the arms of an angel.
Anyway,
Mop.
go ahead.
How can we continue? How can we continue the show after we just watched Moppy
Because
being murdered on live
because
television?
because there's more Stephanie. That's why. And there's
You
Tori
know,
Wilson a little later
you
in the
know
show.
what? I don't think the wrestlers wanted the show to keep on going after Moppy died. It's gonna be a very disturbing. You're gonna
I
see
have
whatever the next match is. You're gonna look very depressed.
I have a horrible theory on what happened to Moppy.
I can't believe it.
So here's my theory. So Moppy, at one point, shortly before they started doing this angle, Pat Patterson walked up to Moppy and said,
No.
"You know, kid, you can make a lot of money in this business."
Oh,
And Moppy said, "No, thank you," and that
do you
was the end. Moppy got
do you
written
think
off.
do you think Moppy saw what Vince McMahon was doing to women? Behind,
Oh no!
do you think
Wait.
Moppy was used to clean up the
Oh,
shit
now
from
you're.
Vince McMahon?
Do you mean the actual women, or do you actually mean woman, the Chris Benoit's wife? Now, are you becoming the conspiracy theorist now?
Oh my, it's a cunts.
Because there was I forget who it was, but there was some wrestler in the shoot interview that said that like Vince was doing something with Nancy, and that's why Benoit did what he did. So you're a conspiracy theorist now.
I'm just saying. I think Vince McMahon had to silence the mob, so that's why he hired Raven to kill it. The mob knew too much. You know all this stuff that came out about Vince McMahon now.
Yeah,
Moppy knew.
there you go.
Moppy knew. That's why Vince McMahon's now going to Knicks games as a former wrestling promoter.
Yeah, I'm surprised they actually on Bally Sportsnet for the Heat, right? So the Heat are on Bally Sports net. One of the no, it's not Bally anymore, it's FanDuel now. So
Yeah.
on FanDuel Southwest or whatever the fuck it is, they actually showed Vince McMahon and put former WWE or former wrestling promoter. Actually, they didn't even put WWE. They just put
Well,
former wrestling promoter Vince McMahon. I can't believe
they
they
didn't
actually.
even they didn't even acknowledge him at MSG though.
Well, obviously not. That would be crazy.
Boo. Fuck you! I built this arena.
Yeah.
I'll shit on all of you.
But yeah, Pat Patterson told Moppy, "Hey kid, you can make a lot of money in this business." Moppy said no, thank you, and that's where this angle came from. They wrote
God,
Moppy off TV because he said no, thank you to Pat Patterson.
I can't believe it. And you know, I just want to point out something. I was rewatching the footage a few minutes ago, and the first suggested video under Raven and Terry Reynolds murder Moppy is the 9/11.
Oh my gosh!
I'm just. This is two tragedies that we've had to been put through within a week. Which
Wow.
we
Uh,
we have put we have come to a permanent end. Moppy.
but everything gets better after this tragic moment because we get more Stephanie McMahon. And
Boom.
Stephanie, I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, yay, more Stephanie.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay. Uh, Stephanie is complaining to RVD about Shane bossing her around, and Rob kind of lends a sympathetic ear. And Stephanie appreciates that. And here we go again. All the matches are coming to fruition. Stephanie McMahon says at Unforgiven, you are going to beat the hell out of Chris Jericho in a hardcore title match. They've they've literally only seen each other in tag matches, and they're going to be in another tag match in the main event, but it's mostly to build up the WWE title match because that tag match is RVD and Austin versus Kurt Angle and Jericho. That's your main event. Uh, the one thing that's really happened with RVD and Jericho on the build up to this pay per view is Jericho pinned RVD. So from honestly from right there, they should have been like, he's gonna face him at the pay per view because he just pinned him. So but still that's the only build up we've gotten to the hardcore title, and I know it's hardcore. It's a minor, one of the smaller type championships, but at least give us something besides, oh, he pinned him in a tag match. But and even as we get on later tonight, they are actually now building up the U.S. title match better than they're building up this hardcore title match. We will get to that later, though. But what do you think of Stephanie? Oh, but first, she also says to him being Jericho, RVD being the one she's obviously talking to, but pin Jericho later on tonight in that tag match. What do you think of Stephanie McMahon giving RVD this match against Jericho for RVD's hardcore title at Unforgiven?
What a random ass thing to for like, oh, you're gonna face Jericho. Why? Well, we were realizing that we were booking the show and we forgot that you two haven't really had any interactions. So tag match, you guys did that a few times, and also here's your. We're gonna treat you like this is a WWE video game. Your objective is to pin Jericho tonight. Get him into the southwest corner and pin him.
Yeah, in theory, in storyline, Stephanie's doing this because she wants to see Jericho get his ass kicked, which at least I get that. But it's like no build to it. No, he pinned him. Jericho pinned him in a tag match. Whoop de doo. What you like you always say? You think you're special? Here
Special.
you go. There's the build. He pinned him
Yeah,
in a tag match. You think you're special? You
I
do.
got I gotta beat you, RFD. I gotta beat you more than I've ever needed to beat anybody else before. Cool, cool, whatever, dude.
You think you're special? They've been building RVD up for his next pay per view match more than they've been building up this match. And obviously, yes, his next pay per view match is the main event. I get that, but still, you got plenty of time after
No,
Unforgiven
no, no.
to build No Mercy. Like, come on now, pay attention to the current pay per view, please.
I feel like if there wasn't a national tragedy and they had to do a freaking tribute show on that SmackDown, we might have had at least some more hints to it. Maybe we would have had a one-on-one match between Jericho and RVD.
But you could have done much more before the tragedy took place. We are what? How many weeks into the build for this pay per view now? Three
About a
weeks,
month.
almost a month, exactly. So they could have done something, but and like I said, the U.S. title match, the two people in the U.S. title match haven't even done anything yet with each other, and yet by the end of the night, they will have been building that up more than they've been building up the hardcore title
They've
match.
built up Raven versus Perry
Yeah,
Saturn. Even gave him a vignette.
yeah. There was no "you think you're special, you do," but yeah,
Well, it's because Raven doesn't deserve one. He murdered someone.
Oh,
He's a murderer.
so now we get a little of an idea of the pure sidekick that Hurricane is looking for. Molly is standing backstage in her dressing room, or I guess it's hers and Spike's dressing room. When Hurricane do the thing,
Whoosh.
There you go. Hurricane whooshes in and gives Molly the offer of a lifetime, an offer you cannot refuse. A job as Hurricane's new sidekick. That is when Spike comes in and he's like, "What the hell's going on here? Why are you talking to Hardcore Holly?" And right in front of Spike,
I
Hurricane's
mean, talking to
like,
talking to Molly, Holly.
yeah, Hurricane
You said
right in front of
hardcore.
Spike. Oh, I said hardcore. My fault.
Why are you talking to hardcore Holly? Uh, How do you like me now? I'm gonna kick your I'm gonna kick your super ass.
Right in front of Spike, Hurricane says to Molly, "Think about the offer." It's like he don't even give a damn that Spike's standing right there. Spike's like, "What the hell's going on? Why are you talking to him?" Blah blah blah. And then after that, we have Shane McMahon talking with. Okay, well, first of all, we missed this a little earlier. Shane was talking to Stephanie, and Taz came in and is like, "I'm getting tired of the way Austin's treating me. I'm tired of this. I'm getting all mad. I need a match tonight." And Shane's like, "Why are you interrupting me? I'm talking with my sister, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Okay, I'll put you in a match later tonight." Sure. Now it's Booker T talking with Shane McMahon. Taz comes in again. He's like, who's my opponent? So, and Shane's like, "Your timing is impeccable. Like you interrupt me when I'm talking to my sister. You interrupt me again when I'm talking with Booker T. You know what? You want your competition. You got it. You will be fair. My sister is not the only one who's going to be in a handicap match tonight. You are as well. It is going to be you, Taz, versus me, Shane McMahon, and Booker T. And Booker T, as soon as Shane says Booker T, Booker's like, "Yeah!" He just yells right in Taz's face. And Taz is essentially is like, "Okay, well, so be it." So what do you think of let's see, her hold on. First, Stephanie, didn't I ask you about Stephanie and RVD?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you think about Hurricane offering Molly Holly a spot to be the new sidekick?
I think Molly would be very smart to take him up on that offer.
It's an offer she cannot refuse, let's be
She
honest.
cannot refuse, and I don't know where Crash or Hardcore are, but maybe they can join the team.
And what do you think of Taz essentially going continuously interrupting Shane McMahon as he's talking to somebody, and this leads to the handicap match. Taz
Whoa, whoa,
and
whoa!
Taz and
Handicap Jones over here, making me face Booker T, making me face Shane McMahon. Oh, Bacha Loop, Gunzo. Hey, I used to be a professional wrestler.
obviously the so my thoughts on each of those segments. The Stephanie and RVD 7 gets 10 out of 10 just because Stephanie was in it. Um,
Who?
it he's perma-banned. He's perma-banned, folks. But we still have a show to get to, so like we gotta have him on.
I'm back.
So yeah, the Stephanie and RVD gets 10 out of 10 just because it was Stephanie. But no, that obviously it was just to build up or announce one of the pay-per-view matches. They really have not been building it at all. But yeah, we get that match. Um, Hurricane with Molly. We get the essentially the first time we see Hurricane and Mighty Molly. Little spoiler alert: she
What?
does. She
What?
accepts. She accepts the offer that she cannot refuse. But that was funny. I like the Hurricane just completely ignoring that Spike. Spike is right there, like, "Hey, just think about it." He's like, "Just think about it." Just standing
Well,
right next to Spike.
to be
Just
fair,
think
she was
about
like brainwashed into accepting him.
the offer.
There's a lot
we
of
will.
brainwashing in WWF.
I did say we will get to that. I don't even know if we're gonna get to that. I don't remember when she isn't Ivory
Yeah,
still at Hurricane and Lance Storm's side, but no mercy. I'm pretty sure she
probably.
is. Yeah. So
Because
that's,
I
yeah,
think
I
I think
don't
it's Spike Dudley versus Hurricane at No Mercy. I think so.
know. Hurricane and Lance Storm face the Hardys at the opener for No Mercy, and I'm
That's
pretty
just
sure Ivory was in their corner. So
hmm.
so yeah, I at some point though in the future, we're not going to get to it anytime
Yeah.
soon. But at some point in the future, we will cover
I mean,
Mighty Molly becoming the sidekick to
well, yeah.
Hurricane.
Eventually,
So oh, and yeah, the Taz stuff. The first part of that gets 10 out of 10 because Stephanie was in it, obviously. But yeah, look, it was good to see. Taz. Obviously, he's getting bullied by Austin, so obviously he's gonna do something about it. He wants to take it out on somebody,
yeah.
but he somewhat goes the wrong way about it because he keeps interrupting Shane McMahon. So Shane McMahon's like, all right, well, you got it. You're going to get your match, handicap match against me and Booker T. So there
Fine.
you go. And that is exactly what we get into. Booker T and Shane McMahon taking on Test, somewhat of a preview for the pay per view. We get double preview for the handicap match at the pay per view because all three of the competitors in the handicap match are in handicap matches themselves on this show. So somewhat previews here. Taz had some moments here in the match where, like, Shane is kind of, bullying him the way uh, Austin did. And at one point, Taz just goes off and starts hitting these suplexes on Shane. So a bit of a good moment there, but in the end, you're obviously building up to the pay per view here, and Taz has nothing to do with the pay per view. So Shane McMahon gets the flying elbow for the pin, and at one point Shane does the macaroni.
Oh boy.
The macaroni, I guess this would be the second most electrifying move in sports entertainment today.
Obviously.
Spinneroonie's most electrifying move in the world wrestling today, the world today. So macaroni's got to be number two. What a hilarious name! But yeah, I thought it was a good segment. At one point, obviously, Taz gets a couple suplexes in, and is finally done with Shane McMahon shit. But in the end, you're not going to have Taz get a pinfall victory on either Booker T and Shane McMahon because you got to build
He pins Booker T in the middle of the ring clean. Oh man, look at that. Looks like I faced the Rock this Sunday.
right because you're building towards Rock versus Shane and Booker. So obviously Shane's got to get the win, or Booker could have got the win, but it was Shane who got the pin on Taz. And yeah, I had nothing wrong with this match. But what did you think about it?
Poor Taz, man. I mean, this man debuted with so much potential and aura, and now 1 year later,
Uh,
he's losing to fucking Shane McMahon on the
his
Go Home show,
debut,
getting pumped out every by the Alliance, and the only
his,
payback he gets is choking out Paul Heyman on the Go Home show before Survivor Series.
his debut was such cinema. Oh, so much aura.
It was good.
It was. I agree, but yeah, it was a banger. Such aura, cinema.
Sorry, folks. Frank's having his annual Modern Wrestling Sucks episode.
Uh,
He prefers
now,
terminology like good, nice, and no eat.
European title match: Hurricane taking on Spike Dudley, and at one point, Hurricane comes up to the top rope. He's got his Hurricane cape, and Spike Dudley gets up on the apron, tears the cape off,
Oh,
and then shortly after that, this is a very short match. So shortly after that, Molly goes to the top, and it looks like she's about to jump onto Hurricane. Hurricane moves out of the way. She hits Spike by mistake. or was it by mistake?
That
Mm.
Jezebel.
And Hurricane hits the eye of the Hurricane for the win. Still your still your European champion, Hurricane. Not much to say except obviously we're building to Hurricane looking for a new sidekick. Your thoughts on Hurricane retaining?
You don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't
Sure.
pull on Hurricane's cape. See what happens when you do that? You
But if
lose.
you're
See ya.
but if you're but if you're the next sidekick, do you tug on Hurricane's cape?
No. Superman never had a sidekick, but I'm sure if he did, he wouldn't have pulled on Superman's cape.
Superman never had a. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Superman never had a sidekick.
No, he's Superman.
I'm thinking of Batman. I was about to say,
Oh
what are you
yeah, no,
talking
he went through Robin's like freaking silly buddy.
about?
Went to the orphanage. Oh, you're the next Robin. You're the next Robin. You're the next Robin.
And again, the show picks up because now we see Tori Wilson walking in a through the hall, and she looks absolutely amazing here. For all the shows we've watched building up to this pay per view, this was Tori's best look. She looked freaking amazing on this show, and that's when Shane kind of walks in front of her, is like, "I appreciate you for being the." Uh, what the hell did he say? Manipulator. You manipulated my father. That was way back early in the beginning of the invasion. That was the build to the actual invasion pay per view. But that was a tremendous segment. How that ended. Um, they got that segment happened backstage at the end of a show and got a standing ovation. That's how good that segment was. But so he's like, I appreciate that you're continuing to what's the word again? I'm forgetting them. Oh, manipulate.
Manipulate.
Yeah, manipulate the WWE. What he's essentially referring to is he believes that Tori Wilson is manipulating Tajiri. I mean, I spoiled the whole Molly thing. Spoiler alert: she's not really manipulating Tajiri, as we're going to find out in the future. This
What?
this Tori Wilson Tajiri thing, as I said a couple shows ago, it lasted till like after Backlash.
Unbelievable.
So that segment obviously gets a 10 out of 10 because it's Tori Wilson. But no, in reality, I liked it because again, it's at this point, it's the question: is she manipulating Tajiri or is she legitimately in love with Tajiri? That's the question here, and they're sort of teasing that again. Obviously, Shane believes she's manipulating Tajiri, uh, but obviously, there's no guarantee to that. But sad that we did not get any Commissioner Regal on this show. No funny Regal Tajiri.
He's too busy being a conspiracy theorist.
There you go. There. So, what are your thoughts on Shane congratulating essentially or acknowledging that Tori Wilson has been a great manipulator for the Alliance?
I mean, I thought it was fine. I like how Shane is so confident in like, oh no, yeah, no, Tori would definitely not fall in love with Tajiri. She's just definitely playing him.
Well, there you
His
go.
overconfidence is his downfall.
And that is where we lead to a United States title match. And again, there's a United States title match at the pay per view. We still haven't had any build to it yet, but we're going to get there. Tajiri is taking on the challenger Christian. And earlier in the night, Christian actually said, I'm going to become the United States champion, and Edge will be the Intercontinental champion. I guess who's going to say, like, we're going to have a champion versus champion at Unforgiven. But in the end, that did not happen. Christian actually got DQ'd, and Tajiri got DQ'd for trying to miss Christian. Christian ducked, and the miss got the ref. But I believe Christian then went. Yeah, he went for the one man concerto, and that is when Edge came in and essentially stopped him and put a beat down on Christian. We had not seen Edge since the heel turn by Christian, because obviously he one man concertoed Edge that night. So this was Edge's return. I thought this was great to build Edge and Christian up for the pay per view. Um, Obviously, the match ends in DQ. It was only like a 4 minute match, nothing too special there. But before I ask you how your thoughts, they go to commercial after this, and when we come back from commercial, they show Tori Wilson walking Tajiri back up the ramp, about to take him backstage. When all of a sudden, a shadowy figure appears to walk out of the backstage area onto the ramp, and that's when you realize it's Rhino. He gores Tajiri. Tori Wilson obviously runs out of the way in time. And like I said, they've just started to build this matchup, and they're already building it up better than RVD versus Chris Jericho, which has
That's the
been
build, folks.
it's been announced already, and yet this match that they're just now planting seeds to is getting built up better than RVD versus Chris Jericho. So
Crazy.
thoughts on the match and what
I
happened afterwards. Both of
I
what
like
happened
how
afterwards.
I like how Christian is one of the smartest wrestlers because how many times do people fall for the freaking green mist? And no
Right.
one ever thinks duck, cover my face. No, it's always, oh, what are you doing there, Tajiri, who's known for the green mist and other mists?
The black.
Ah, what are the odds?
Stay away from that black mist. Stay away from that black.
Stay away from the pink mist.
When did he do a pink mist?
He never did pink mist, but do you know about the pink mist? It gets people pregnant.
Oh, so
Oh
yeah, stay
yeah,
away from that.
stay
They
away
they
from.
should have they should have did that angle. Tajiri just spits pink mist into one of the divas, and all of a sudden she's
Yeah,
pregnant.
yeah. I mean,
What an angle
pink.
that would have
Yeah, all these mists, they're just crazy. You got the black mist that blinds people for a few weeks. The green mist that just blinds people for a few minutes.
been. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like the red mist is supposed to like burn or something.
right.
But like, if that's supposed to burn, what is the green mist? Is that like, I got some green in my eye? Oh, that's not too bad.
The
But
black
I guess
the black mist is the worst as far as I remember, because that blinded Nydia for a couple of weeks, and obviously not too long, because in the end, Jamie Noble started being a bitch to her. So, and at one point, she finally was no longer blind, but she's like, "Well, I'm going to manipulate him now because he's using me," and so that's what happened. She obviously reveals at Royal Rumble '04, "Hey, I'm not blind anymore, and it's been like that for a while now."
if you wear sunglasses, I think you would defeat the green mist.
There you go.
No, he has sunglasses on. I can't hit his eyes.
But what if Tajiri just rips the sunglasses off and then
Oh,
well, the
that
glass is gonna fall off during the match anyway, unless you somehow like
true.
tape them to your head or something.
Look, there's like a whole thing about the mist. Great Muda has this mist. Tajiri has this mist. A lot of mists.
So thoughts on the Edge's return here? Christian about to do
Ah,
the uh,
that bastard Edge. Can't believe
yeah,
he's back. Should have stayed.
him
Should have stayed away.
him and Grandma Edna, man, him and Grandma Edna.
Yeah.
And
Dangerous tag team.
if it was if it wasn't for Grandma Edna, Christian would have. I was gonna say Christian would have avoided the miss, but I'm forgetting now. He actually did avoid the miss.
The referee would have avoided the mist.
There you go. If it wasn't for Grandma Edna, the ref would have avoided the miss, and Christian would be U.S. champion at this very moment. There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Fucking people.
thoughts on we finally get some build to the United States title match at the pay per view, right?
This already has more build than the fuck than a freaking Jericho and RVT.
It does. It really does.
And it was one core. It was just Rhino doing what he normally does. Gore
And
people.
it literally took place during a commercial break. It's the most
Here's what
more build than RVD and Jericho, and it took place during a commercial break.
here, here's what happened during the commercial break. We actually had a build to one of the matches in the pay per view for once, guys.
So the build up package to RVD and Christian, RVD and Chris Jericho is the pinfall of the tag match from a couple of weeks ago. It goes 1, 2, 3, and then just hits. You think you're special?
Special.
You do. But for this we get the gore out of nowhere, and then you think you're special. You.
And then they just cut the ECW. They cut the ECW footage.
Well, moving on from that, we're fine again. The pay per view that we are building to is finally coming to fruition here, slowly but surely. Now we have a rematch from last week, and obviously 10 out of 10 right here because Stephanie is in it. But The Rock versus Stephanie McMahon and Tess, another handicap match building up to the actual handicap match of the pay per view. And there's a few times where The Rock needs to be jumped for this match because right in the very beginning, he actually slides out of the ring how do you say it? What's the word?
Detected.
No. When Austin was GM and he said he couldn't touch anybody anymore, what was the word that they used that? Oh, provoke. So Rock was unprovoked, and he jumps out of the ring and essentially trips Stephanie off the apron like a jerk.
Huh.
Stephanie was minding her own business on that apron, waiting for a tag, and the tag never came. And then there were also moments in the match where Rock just flips Stephanie over while she's again minding her own business on the apron. But in the end, all is right with the world because in the end, Booker T and Shane McMahon run in, and in the end, they put the boots along with Tess to the Rock. And in the end, Stephanie gets the pinfall victory, and they should change the match right now for the pay per view. Stephanie and Booker T versus The Rock for the WCW title with the same
Forget Booker T. Just have it Stephanie versus The Rock.
There you go. Stephanie versus The Rock with the same damn ending. Stephanie getting the pinfall victory and your new WCW champion.
Yeah.
That is what should happen. But yeah. So in all seriousness, a repeat of last week's match, but again, it's got Rock in it. Oh, they also did some shit where obviously Nick Patrick was the official, so
Yeah.
heel alliance official, kind of trying to screw over the Rock. I think Rock ended up giving Nick Patrick the rock bottom, so cool moment there. But Rock in the ring, obviously the crowd's going to be hot for a match like that, and they were here. Last week I gave the handicap match the match of the night. Don't think I'm going to do it here because we have other matches, especially one match coming up that was a little better. But what were your thoughts on the rematch from last week?
I thought it was good. I thought it was fine for what it was. They're really trying to make The Rock look like he can actually lose on Sunday.
Right.
By having Stephanie keep on pinning. Stephanie now has more pinfall victories on The Rock than Austin does. I'm just saying.
Lucky Rock. I mean, who'd you rather get pinned by?
I'm just saying. The Rock didn't lose too often in 2001. Then Stephanie has 2 pinfall victories over him.
He got pinned over. He got pinned by Rhino and Stephanie, and Austin at Mania.
I think so every member of the.
Where did the first one come from?
First what?
The first pinfall by Stephanie over Rock.
A victory, I meant.
Yeah, where did so wait. Rock, Stephanie and Tess won last week?
I'm sure they've had house shows.
Oh, house shows.
House shows count.
I
Yeah,
I guess you can look them up. I'd have to. I'm not about to look them up right now, but yeah.
house shows are
Meanwhile,
totally canon. What are you talking about?
meanwhile, we have RVD harassing Austin, who has locked himself in the dressing room, in Austin's dressing room. And Rob's like, "Listen, we got a match coming up." He's like, you locked your door's locked, and Austin's like, "Well, yeah, because I've locked it." And he's like, "Leave me alone." And then at the end, RVD kind of knocks on the door. Austin opens it. I think RVD just walks away before before Austin answered it. So just essentially getting Austin pissed off there. Again, we're building towards the next pay per view. RVD does have a match for but there you go. Anyway, main event time. We've actually
The
gotten
old
through
knock
this.
knock ditch.
We've actually gotten through this episode quicker than the last two episodes, or the last, really
Yes.
all the episodes outside of the one me and Christian did way back
Yeah.
when on the road to this pay per view. The one me and Christian did, we had nothing to really talk about, and that's why it was only a 16-minute video compared to a fucking hour long, 2 hour long review where you actually have stuff to talk about. But anyway,
Yeah.
main event time. Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle taking on Rob Van Dam and Stone Cold Steve Austin. This would be my match of the night. And here's how it ended. Austin goes for the kick to set up the stunner. Angle counters it by grabbing the foot. Angle slams him. 1, 2, 3, and you see the thumbnail. Angle is leaving the ring after getting the victory, and Austin is, he's got his head down. He can't believe he just got pinned by Angle. So we're sort of showing, Austin can get beat as well. We showed Rock can get beat. Now we're showing Austin can get beat. The two biggest names in the company going into this pay per
Yeah.
view, not looking all that good. And again, hopefully
Yeah.
they change. Hopefully they change the handicap match, and it's Stephanie versus Rock, with Stephanie getting the win at Unforgiven. If not,
Yeah.
the pay per view gets a 0 out of 10 in my book.
Yep.
But that is how we go off air. Angle gets the win. So and not a lot done with the actual main event for the pay per view, even though in the weeks building up to the show they've done a lot. So I guess I
To,
understand it. Uh,
to be fair, this is their first legit show since 9/11. So I think it's kind of like, well, we're trying to build this pay per view, but we're also trying to get back to some type of normalcy here. We're trying to toe that line of we're still trying to be entertaining, but we're also still trying to recover.
here's 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 the way I'll put it. Here's the way I'll put it, because they focused on the main event more than they focus on the secondary main event. And
Yeah.
on this show, they got more focused on the secondary main event. So I'll give them credit for that. Uh, but it feels like, again,
This bit.
the end, before you get to that, the end
Yeah.
where Angle's kind of walking out of the ring, he's got the pinfall, and Austin's like, oh, that was a good way to end the show. But what were you gonna
Yeah.
say?
This match wasn't very fair because Kurt Angle's on that American hero buff right now.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
he's pretty indestructible. They're not going to have the Olympic gold medalist lose 1 week after 9/11, and everyone's like rah rah America. That would look a little bad if
Yeah.
the American patriot, the American hero, loses.
I I picked a shit website to go over notes for the show today too, because a lot of stuff was. I just realized you mentioned the American hero thing. There's actually a segment or earlier on the show where like RVD and Kurt Angle are talking, and RVD and Kurt Angle's kind of like, you may be RVD, but right now it's all about USA.
Oh my
That
god!
was that was kind of a cool little backstage
Yeah,
segment. I really should look through these notes before I pick who I want to go with. Normally 411 Mania, that's who I picked here. Normally 411 Mania, even though they're fucking smart marks, which they say silly shit in their fucking reviews.
Was
Normally
the
they type
note
out everything, but for this one they
were the
didn't.
note were the notes posted in 2001
They
or were
were,
the?
but
Oh, there you
but
go. They
but
probably
how are
they
you?
probably had a little bit more important things on their mind other than
Uh,
updating the 411 forum
they
after that Raw.
they wrote out a lot of shit, but they were missing a lot of shit too.
Maybe he
So
went to the bathroom during that segment.
maybe I don't know. Like I said, match of the night would be that tag match main event segment of the night. I will go with how the aftermath of the handicap match involving Tess, Stephanie, and Rock. All the yeah, where Booker and Shane, I think even with help from Tess, essentially just beat the hell out of Rock, and you see Rock get little bit of adversity before the pay-per-view. That's my segment of the night.
Yeah.
Match and segment of the night for you.
Match of the night was the tag team match, the main event tag match, and
Yeah,
segment of the night was the segment that we did not talk about. Would be the cut to WWF New York because you get you have all the banners and stuff
yeah,
for 9/11 in Times Square. You
right.
have the crowd chanting USA, USA, and I don't know. It's just something that
And
really warms the
again,
heart.
yeah,
Seeing New Yorkers come together post 9/11,
pick
so close
pick
after
the
9/11.
pick the wrong damn site for the review because normally 411 Mania covers everything. They missed a lot of
Yeah,
shit, including the segment you were referring to. And since you brought it up, it was cool. They did cut they cut right away to like a sidewalk across the street
yeah,
from the world, and there's like flowers as if like there was a car accident right there. You know how there would be a car
yeah.
accident where the accident happens, to like put flowers and stuff. There was like flowers, the American flag, and all that. That was cool.
What a
Then they
difference
went,
a week makes.
yeah, and they had the right pay per view poster up, but I think we covered that already because last week the right pay per view poster was up too.
Yes. Imagine they didn't, and you're like, yeah. I mean, it was an okay segment. They get they're promoting No Mercy now. I don't get
They completely skip over Unforgiven. They're like No
it.
Mercy. They're halfway building No Mercy as they're building
I
this show.
know.
So like, I mean, hardcore.
We're getting more build to No Mercy than we are Jericho versus RVD.
Jericho's facing RVD at Unforgiven, but it looks more like they care about RVD facing being in that triple threat for No
Yeah.
Mercy. And hell, they even care more about a match that they literally just started building up with Rhino and Tajiri. One little gore, and it's already got more build up than Jericho and RVD.
Yeah. Well, if it
Overall,
wasn't if I hadn't picked the WWE, if we were just doing segments that we talked about, then it would be Moppy, of course. R.I.P. girl.
I I would not disagree with that. That was a great comedy segment, and
Segment,
that's what it was. Yeah.
a girl. Moppy died, Frank. What are you talking about? Segment. We literally saw Raven kill kill Moppy.
Again, you don't want two women in your life because one of them will get killed by
Yeah.
the other. I
Unless you're
mean,
Tommy Dreamer, in which case he'll say, I'll take them both. I'm hardcore.
again, rest in peace to Michelle Trachtenberg, but she had one of her last projects 4 years ago was literally a show about this Meet Mary Murder, where
I thought
that's
you were gonna
essentially
say
what.
I thought you were gonna say Ice Princess.
No, that
I
was
was
a
gonna say
movie.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that movie's pretty old.
That was a movie that took place 20 years ago yesterday and had nothing to do with spousal murder. So I don't know how you
That would be an extreme turn for a Disney Channel movie. My God. You want to watch Cadet Kelly? No, I want to watch Ice Princess. What's about spouse?
But yeah, Sadly, Meet Mary Murder, I think got canceled after the first season, or just they never. It was originally a web series, but if there was a season two, Michelle absolutely would have covered
So
the murder of Moppy.
I wonder, they have Dark Side of the Ring. I wonder if they'll have a Dark Side of the Ring on Moppy. The murder, the murder.
The murder of Moppy.
Perry Saturn's like, the reason I'm in the state I am now is because Moppy died.
He's got the New England Patriot hat on, like he's always wearing.
Yeah,
Like, I love Tom Brady, but you know who I hate? Raven.
Raven.
He killed my
I
wife.
I hate the Raven. I hate ravens. I kill every Raven I see. I'm a dangerous person. People actually really hate me because I kill innocent Raven.
uh, Overall rating out of 10 for the September 17th Monday Night Raw, our 73rd episode, by the way. How about that? We are almost to was 70. What would 75 be like? I don't not a
70,
quarter century.
75 would be Unforgiven.
No, I get that. That's not what I meant.
Uh,
Like 25 is a quarter century, right? So what would 75 be?
um, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but
I'm not a. I'm not. I don't do the maths,
oh,
Frank.
neither am I. Neither am I. Since you brought up Ice Princess, literally the first scene of that movie is Michelle's character skating outside her house, and the mother like knocks on the window and is like, "Time to come in." She's like, "5 more minutes," and then the mother pulls up like a math book, and I'm like,
Now, is she a princess who skates? Is that the premise?
"See, the movie made no sense because like she's skating, but there's no nets." She never picked up a stick at any point in the movie. No pucks. Like she trained the whole movie, and we never got to see her get in one game.
Was was Lula Moreau her coach? Don't
Uh, I think
don't
I think her
don't
coach
grow a beard. I'm a woman. Okay,
her
that's
coach was
perfect.
her coach was Kim Cattrall, who I think has no history with hockey,
Damn.
but that's yeah. It made
Does she
no.
have to face off? Does she have to face off with a child, Matt Barzell, in a skating competition?
She would have won that. She would have absolutely won that because
Oh no, no, no! Look, Barzell can skate. He can skate, not shoot the puck, get hurt.
well, if the contest is not just skating but actually like shooting towards the net, she would have easily
Yeah.
won. Yeah, like
Well, yeah, he would have
she would.
thread past it to somebody.
No, Pat Parcell would have just been circling around. Yeah, it's like, look what I can do. Hey, I'm
Look at
cool.
my stick hand. Look at my stick handling.
Actually, for what obviously the movie was not a hockey movie, but what the
Damn.
movie actually was an ice skating movie. Excuse me, a figure skating movie. Let's be honest, Matt Barzell would have been perfect for that movie. He would have been
Yeah.
perfect.
So is the synopsis of the movie just that she's a princess who likes to ice skate?
Uh, I have not read the synopsis, but I still don't understand.
Most unorthodox.
She did all that practicing for and never got in a game. She never even picked up a hockey stick. Nope.
In
And
the end, does she lose to Will Ferrell? In the end, is it
no,
play? Is this like a prequel to Blades of Glory?
in the end, she was actually apparently in the Eastern Conference Finals, but they called it something weird, like Eastern whatever. But she was in the Eastern Conference Finals. But again, she just like did a little skating and did a cool little dance that I mean it's Michelle Trachtenberg, so it looked really cute. But again,
She
she
gave up a
didn't.
shorthanded goal.
Well, with the fact that she had no stick and was just dancing, she could have, but nobody else was on the ice.
Yet she's
That
still
last
somehow
scene,
more useful than Matt Martin is.
I, no, she's more useful than Matt Barzell. But although Matt Barzell would have probably been, she'd be there dancing around. Matt Barzell would be doing spins. Look at me. Oh, I skated by the defender, but I didn't do anything. I still got the
N-
puck. Skated by the
Notable,
now watch me skate by
notable
the other
Matt
defender.
Barzell hater Frank.
Time's winding down. We're only down by one. Brock, take the puck.
The people who Frank hates the most is Matt Barzell and Juan Soto.
I don't hate Juan Soto. I hate the
Yep,
organization
yep,
for
you no,
signing.
no, no, no. But they want you're not a fan of fans booing, but if you ever went to a Met game and you saw Soto, you boo him.
I I hated
Boo!
I hated the Max Scherzer signing, and I was if I would have went to a game, if I would have been at that playoff game, I would not have booed him. He
I
got lit
booed him
up in that
loud and
playoff game.
clear.
I would not have booed him in that. I would have looked at if I would have saw Steve Cohen sitting next to me. That's who I would have literally boo. You're the idiot that signed the 38-year-old with a bad arm. Yeah, boo him out of the fucking building. First of all, he shouldn't be signing people. He's not a GM. He's literally just a fan with money. He should be leaving this up to his fucking
And
uh
he did. That's why our pitching staff is
president.
dog shit.
He did not leave it up to his fucking if it was
Yes,
up
David
if it
Stearns
was up
is the masterclass behind this fucking rotation.
if it was up to Stearns, Soto would not have been signed, and we would have been paying attention to the pitching rotation. We would have signed
And
something.
yeah, because relying on Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor worked out really well in the end.
Yes, it did. And you know why we lost to LA? LA had better pitching. That's why.
Because they had Shohei Ohtani, who, mind you, hit a double yesterday. So therefore,
He had a
I'm
home run.
declaring it. He's the greatest player to ever live. I
They
am now declaring it. It is April. It is not April. It is March 19th. Shohei Ohtani has now won the MVP for the 2025 season. Sorry, that's just how it works. Shohei Ohtani is Shohei Ohtani, and he's the greatest. He's the
you
GOAT.
You act like Shohei Ohtani had a bad season last year and was still given the MVP. Dude was 50-50. Nobody has had
He's Shohei Ohtani.
when's the last time somebody had 50-50?
He's Shohei fucking Ohtani.
Shout out, by the way, since I just said 50-50, shout out to 50-50 twins. That's who I was actually listening to when you came in and although he's not the one that was rapping at the time, he was like, is that you know who came in and just said the N word there? that
You
that was
know,
a 50-50 twin song. Shout out to 50-50 twin. But greatest rapper named 50, by the way.
he could probably throw a better pitch than 50 Cent.
Sure he would. Sure he would.
I mean, even Stone Cold threw a better pitch than 50 Cent. He just
Um,
lobbed it.
you are when it comes to stuff like that, you are absolutely, and I ain't hating on it, but you are absolutely a homer for stuff
Oh,
like
I'm
that.
a,
You're straight up homer.
I am
Motherfucker
a
had
homer.
a 50-50 season, something that
Oh, I'm a
nobody's ever
total
done.
homer. I will not admit that. I am a totally biased to the New York Mets
But
and totally against the fucking Dodgers.
Francisco Lindor should have won MVP.
Yes, he should
You're a
have.
homer. You're a homer.
The award goes to the most valuable player to their team.
By the way,
You take Shohei Ohtani off the Dodgers. The Dodgers are still the Dodgers. You take Lindor off the Mets. We don't get to the NLCS.
since we've nodded off into sports. I don't know if you've heard the rumor. Now, first of all, the Islander season is not over clearly, and
Somehow.
I've been saying for a couple of weeks we got the monthly recap coming up and kind of like brushed it off like not gonna do that today because they are now only 3 points out of a playoff spot and they are facing the team who currently has the second and is 3 points up on them who has second
Yes.
wild
And
card tomorrow in a huge game they must win.
if we have to, no, we don't have to win. We have to win in regulation.
Exactly
We
regulation.
can't let it go to overtime. So we can't play over our food too much like we have in the past 2 games.
We're lucky yesterday didn't go to overtime. We
The Penguins are too. they're kind of
They're
a little
not
far
too.
back now.
They're not too far behind us, so we'll get as much distance behind them as we can.
Look, as long as the Rangers keep on rangering, we'll
Yes,
be fine.
yes.
Because
Shout
we
out,
don't have that season series locked down.
shout out to the Flames. They beat the Rangers yesterday, and
Shout out to them on Saturday. I mean, let's face it.
yeah. Oh no, absolutely not. But and their goaltender Dustin Wolf, he's definitely in there in conversation for the Calder. But
They still have Travis Hamonic.
no, Hammer's Ottawa. Hammer's going to the
Yeah,
playoffs. Hammer's going to the playoffs. Ottawa's
good
got
for him.
the first wild card. It seems down
Yeah,
locked right now. Yeah.
yeah, 77 points.
Yeah. Unless something catastrophic happens, Hammer's going to the playoffs. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I don't know if you've heard the rumor, but and obviously it's just a rumor. It doesn't matter. And July 1st is normally not a big day for us, but the rumor is that the Islanders are going to make a big push for Mitch Marner, who is a free agent. Now,
Well,
now, now, if Mitch Marner decides I'm not going to play for my current team no more and actually signs with a new team, and that team be the
he probably will.
Islanders, you got to boo him on opening night. That's a snake.
No.
Boo!
We only boost snakes who
Boo!
we actually boost
No,
snakes who affected us.
no, that's a snake.
And
Boo!
Mitch Marner
Boo!
has been very public about him not wanting to be playing second fiddle to
That don't
Tavares
matter.
and Matthews anymore.
That don't matter. He's a snake. If he leaves Toronto, boo! If he's
Nope.
on the ice, UBS opening night in an Islander sweat, boo!
You know,
Snake,
I'll probably have an extra ticket
boo!
if you want to come with me.
I'll,
You can be the one fan in the whole arena booing
and don't forget,
as he scores a hat trick in the first period.
don't forget.
Boo!
I don't know who he'll be playing for yet because he is a free agent as well. But at some point, there'll be a keep that same energy night. Brock Nelson will be in another uniform. Unless
No,
he
because
unless
we
he comes
traded
back.
Brock. We
That
traded Brock.
don't matter. That don't matter.
Yes,
He's
it
putting on
matters
a
because
different uniform.
if we had traded
No,
Tavares, we would have
no,
still cheered him.
Snake. He'll be
No,
in a
that's not how
different
it works.
uniform. He could
If you're,
resign, by the way. He could resign. He's going to be a free agent.
we don't want him back.
He's going to resign with somebody else. That Snake. Boo.
He's going to sign with the Wild.
Boo. Boo.
You
Snake.
see, Tavares didn't do jack shit in his final year, though.
Tavares was damn good for 8 seasons.
Yeah,
And
look
so
at this.
was
We've been so much better with that. We've been better about Brock too. It's crazy how that works.
No, we have not been better. We went to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals with Brock.
Yeah, but I'm saying since we've traded him, he has like maybe 2 points.
Keep that same energy night when Brock Nelson returns to UBS. Boo, Snake, boo.
Look, we're not even going to sign Mitch Marner.
If we do, though, opening night, keep that same energy.
Boo,
Snake, boo.
You know how every July 1st goes. Everybody signs around us, and they use us as fucking leverage.
But if somehow, for whatever reason, if the fact that he's good friends with Matt Martin somehow leads to him, and obviously the history with Lou, if that somehow leads him to say, I want to be an Islander, opening night, not opening night, because I don't even know if we're going to be at home or whatever, but home opener, boo, Snake, boo, he's signed with a new team, boo.
If Mitch Marner signs with the Islanders, I will take back everything bad I've ever said about Lou Lamoriello, because that'd be a good
time. Every time he touches the puck next year, boo, Snake,
boo,
Snake, boo. He's a snake. If he signs with us, he's a snake. By the fan base's actual.
Oh my god.
The fan base is actual. What's the term? Logic. By the fan base's logic. If Mitch Marner
I didn't want to have to do
Toronto and signs, go ahead, do what you got to do. Nope. He's perma-banned.
I'm sorry, Frank. I'm sorry, Frank. There was no other way.
Hey, if he signs next year, it becomes an Islander. He's a snake. Every time he touches the puck next year, boo! Again, he's perma banned. He's perma banned. We have to clip this whole conversation. We have to clip this whole conversation, the snake conversation.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
You
But no,
gonna
uh there's two, keep that same,
oh my
potentially
god.
two, because we don't
Whatever.
know. We don't, truthfully, there could be none, because Brock could end up re-signing. Well, not re-signing. He could end up
If
signing
he
it.
if Lou signs fucking Brock Nelson, that's not getting younger.
But he's not going to, because if he really wanted to say, he would have took
Look
that 3-year deal. So
look
he's not
here.
coming back.
Of course he's not. He's gonna sign with the Wild. Good for him.
So there's at least. Oh, so he's Pajama Boy. He grew up a Wild fan. Pajama
no,
Boy.
not unless
Pajama
he shows,
Boy.
not unless he fucking
Boo.
shows himself in
Boo.
bed with the Wild. Which he wouldn't
Boo.
because the Wild
He's
didn't
a
exist when he was a
snake.
kid.
He's a
Um,
snake. Pajama Boy. He's signing with the team that is
what if he
hometown.
what if he signs with the Dallas Stars because he grew up a North Star fan?
That's Pajama Boy. If he grew up a Stars fan,
That
Pajama
would be
Boy.
great. That would be crazy.
Boo. He's a snake. Boo.
I grew up a North Star fan. Sorry, guy. Sorry, Minnesota. You'll lose out again. Um,
So potential. Oh yeah, that would be funny,
uh,
because but potentially two big dates, two big keep
mm,
that same energy dates coming up for the Islanders next season. Again, this season isn't over, but I just thought we had to bring that up. If
well,
if Mitch Marner signs, then on all
it
not
won't
just
matter.
opening night, not just opening night, because every time John Tavares touches the puck at UBS, he gets booed. So every time Mitch Marner touches the puck next year, and for how no matter how long that contract will be, if he signs it, boo, snake, boo. And obviously the other keep that same energy night, Brock Nelson's return to UBS Arena, if he is not in an Islander uniform, boo, snake, boo, Pajama Boy, boo. If he signs with a Minnesota team,
Frank
boo,
really
Pajama
hates
Boy,
snakes for some reason.
boo. No, that's the thing. If you are
You
if
don't you
you
don't like
put on
snakes.
another,
What's wrong with snakes, Frank?
if you
Snakes are
if
cool animals like anacondas.
if you put on another team's jersey, you are not loyal to your own team. You are a snake. By that logic, if
You,
Mitch Marner
you
comes
are
here,
you
he's a
are a
snake.
snake when you tell the fucking GM don't trade me because I'm gonna come back here and then you take less money to play with the fucking Leafs.
Maybe he did
Brock
want to.
Nel Brock Nelson was at least honest. He's like, I'm outie, guys. I'm not
No,
coming back.
he's putting on a new
Mitch
uniform. Boo,
Mitch
snake,
Marner Mitch Marner is
boo.
being honest. He's like, I don't want to play here anymore. Please get me out of here.
Nope, he's leaving Toronto. That makes him a snake. So if he comes here, he's a
No,
snake.
was it Ilya Soroka's snake? Because he used to play for the KHL.
KHL doesn't count. Ilya Sorokin is goaded.
No, that's a different team then. Snake
Ilya
boo.
Sorokin. No, Ilya Sorokin is goaded. But
Patrick Waugh.
I guess by
Patrick
yes,
Waugh used to coach the
yeah,
Avalanche. Boo.
yes, Patrick Waugh. They should be booing Patrick Waugh. If you're gonna boo Tavares, boo
Caleb
Patrick
Williams
Waugh.
used to play college football. He used to have a team
College
jersey on.
football, college.
Boo.
You have to play
Boo.
college. You have to play college to get to the
No,
NFL.
no, no. You can play high school. Boo. Enter as a free agent. Boo.
That still means you played high school then. So that means
No.
by
Just be a walk on. What can I'm just saying.
be a walk on. Yeah, never play, and somehow you'll get drafted or
Yeah, I mean
assigned.
he's Caleb Williams, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah.
It'll be a
So
fun season preview next week for the Mets, I'm sure.
oh, absolutely. I
It'll
can't.
just be it'll just have half of it will be me just debating with you about one soda. The other
Look.
half will be shitting on our
I've,
pitching.
I've already said, if Soto takes the 5 and he opts out and goes play somewhere, it's the greatest contract in franchise
Nope.
history. If he plays all 15 years, it is a shit contract. If you
What if you
play
win a
both,
World Series every year? Oh, 50 years.
there's no way you're gonna win 15 World Series in a
Eh,
row. I don't unless, and I don't even think we're gonna win this year unless Blade Tidwell comes up and is an immediate
Well,
impact. You can't put that on a young guy. You can't expect that from him. But if that
it's a
happens, all of a sudden our pitching looks pretty good, and I'm
to
very
be
excited
fair,
for Blade Tidwell.
if you just switch us, if you put us in the AL and put the Yankees in the NL, we would make it to the World Series for the next 15 years because
No,
the AL is the minor leagues for the
again,
basically the little leagues of Major League Baseball. The NL is where the big boys
the
play.
Royals have a solid young team. The Tigers
Yeah,
have a
young team,
solid young team. Yeah,
minor
they're
league,
on the come up. That's not
minor
minor
league.
league. They're in the big
Yeah,
leagues. They went to the playoffs last year. The Guardians are always consistent.
they're
They have a
playing in
solid.
the AL Central. They have the fucking
It
White
don't
Sox. They
matter.
lost 100.
It
They
don't
lost
matter.
121 games last year.
And
You're
we
feeding
went.
off bad teams.
And let's not forget, we went to the World Series in 2015 in a shit division. The
The, the,
Braves
the
won.
Nationals were good.
They were
They
and we
they
handled
choked
them.
in the end, but they were good. They had Harper
Both
and
teams
Zimmerman.
beat up on shit division teams. The Marlins were horrible that year. The Phillies were horrible that year. The Braves had a terrible bullpen. They were horrible that year. That's probably if the Nationals, the 2015 Nationals were in a different division, they probably would have had about 70 wins. But we still made it to the World Series. NL champs, you can't take that away. The Braves in 2021 had an even worse NL East, and they won the World Series. You still can't take that away from them.
That was in a full season.
It don't matter. It doesn't have to be.
Does not count. It's like the Dodgers
It
World
counts.
Series win in 2020. Does not happen.
But if we won in 2020, it counts, right?
Obviously, obviously, that's how that's how victimhood works, Frank. You gotta.
A
If
homer.
it happened to us, then it would have been okay. But if it happened to anybody else, then it's not
He's
good.
a homer. He's a homer.
I'm a don't.
um.
Wait,
Anything
there's one
else?
too, dude.
Anything else on the September 17th, 2001 edition of Raw?
No, not really.
So tomorrow we will be back, and maybe we will come back with the snake conversation again. I doubt it.
Uh,
I just we had to throw that in because of the rumors, and just to make sure that everybody understands by this fan base's logic. If Mitch Marner comes here, he's a
should we
snake.
should we boost Stone Cold because he's now in the alliance?
He's the rattlesnake. He is a snake. He should have been
Uh,
booed from the very
he,
beginning.
yeah, he should have. Fucking people,
But so
hypocrites.
tomorrow we will review. So let me see. Let me get this right. Don't say it because every time you remember the September 6th episode of Raw that never happened was
Yeah, it was
September
just a house
3rd.
show, I guess. We
But
should
here
have
we go.
reviewed that.
Tuesday will be the 18th. Wednesday will be the 19th. So it is the September 20th episode
Ooh,
of SmackDown. That is what we will be reviewing tomorrow. Friday will most likely we will finally get to Unforgiven. And then that is when we will announce our next Road 2s. Both of us will announce one. And then the rule of no announcing future shows until we get to whatever Tro picks pay-per-view wise. Um, will be back in effect because again that's two road twos going to make at least like 20 plus shows upcoming especially depending if they're Raw and
yeah.
SmackDown shows pay-per-view
And
wise.
when we get up to when we eventually do episode 100, we'll have to hopefully whatever road twos we pick, it lines up that episode 100 doesn't have to be a random ass road two.
You mean it lines up to that it's the pay-per-view?
That or we do a clip show. Everyone loves clip shows.
Oh my gosh, we would have to, even though it has nothing to do with the show we're reviewing, we would have to clip the I'm saying we should anyway, but we would have to add the snake conversation into that
A,
clip show.
a clip show. Hey guys, here's a 100th episode. It's just a clip show.
But our 100th episode, if it is a weekly, there's nothing wrong with it being a weekly show, but hopefully it's a really good weekly show. Put it
Watch
that
it
way.
be like that, like a watch it be my turn and I pick like the worst episode of Raw possible.
um,
Either that or it's like a early. No, I guess it wouldn't be a monthly recap at that point. Maybe
it,
could it be? Could be
no,
the
no,
April
no, no,
recap.
no, 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 no. You are misunderstanding. This is the FNC Retro Wrestling Reviews 73rd episode.
Retro. I've never
I
heard
don't.
anybody ever call it the retro wrestling.
That is, we're reviewing retro. We're reviewing retro wrestling shows. That's why it's called
Retro wrestling.
monthly recaps. Do not count towards the counter of
The counter.
retro I don't even like episode. I don't even give episodic counters to our retro. I mean, not our retro. Our monthly recaps, but even every time I do this too, even Christian gets confused. I'm like, "Hey,
Yeah,
it's our 50th episode," and he comes to me like, we've done way more than 50 episodes." I'm like,
we're
"What are you
dumbasses.
counting?
What can we say?
What are you counting? Because this only counts to." And Christian does the reviews with you and with you and I was about to say with you and Trey. He does reviews with you. He doesn't choose to episodic put it in an episodic way, the titles, but I do, and that's how I know we are on our 73rd episode. So 100th episode obviously will not be a monthly recap because those
Yeah.
don't count towards the episodic
Well,
of
when we
of
do get to our 100th monthly recap randomly in like 15 years from now, hopefully we're talking. Hopefully, we're talking about the Mets and Islanders winning a Stanley Cup or a World Series that year.
Hopefully they will both by that point have at least two or three. If it is 15
Mhm.
years, two or three, I'd settle. I'd kill
Well, at
for
least the
two or
Mets at this point.
um we were both born in the 90s, and you, at least football wise, you've gotten to see a couple. Oh, he did. Where'd he go? Did his battery die? Because that was kind of weird. That seemed like a dead battery situation. We'll see if he comes back. But anyway, uh, on the he's back. Okay. So as I
I
was
was
saying,
born at least.
yeah, you were born in the 90s, and at least you got to see a couple Super Bowl titles. But
Yeah.
I was I was also born in the 90s, and I'm a fan of three teams that have last won a championship in the 80s. So if 15 years from now the Islanders and Mets both have like three recent championships, I would kill for that.
Yeah, it's not easy being a Giant fan. Sometimes, whenever I get sad, I just watch Super Bowl 41 or 43.
Well,
No, 41st, 46.
did you see my comment on your Instagram post yesterday?
No.
You took a picture of the funny looking machine from the store. And I
That
said,
robot, I can't, that
"Get a
fucking robot
robot.
keeps on following me.
It's a better quarterback option than Tommy DeVito." That's what I said too on Instagram.
A good thing Tommy DeVito's not our quarterback.
Well, who you drafting? That's the question.
No, we're not going to draft Shador Sanders. We'll probably draft Jackson Dart.
In the latest mock draft, and this is kind of a weird thing because the Titans trade the pick to you guys. This is PFF, I think. Their mock draft has the Titans trading the pick to you guys and still taking a quarterback, but they take Dart. And you guys take the kid from Miami who you said you wanted.
Cam Ward.
Yes, Cam Ward. You guys trade up, but
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Ward, but he's a development. He has to be developed, and that's not good for
yeah.
us.
Well, from that, if this happens, you better hope that Jackson Dart doesn't become a star for the Titans, because the Titans would
Eh,
get the right quarterback and they'd get draft capital, and you guys
yeah,
would get the wrong
we don't.
guy. You
Titans are in
trade
the
up
AFC.
when you could have stayed pat and got the same guy.
Eh. Yeah, but the draft is always such a there's always a fucking crapshoot. I mean, Cam Ward can be good, he can be shit. We get all three quarterbacks in the first round, can be all dog shit too.
It's a crapshoot, but when you have the right GM who builds through the draft, you're set up for a great future. That's how you win.
Well, either that or we can just draft a wide receiver in the first round and try to do what the Eagles did.
The Eagles have a quarterback though already.
Well, I'm saying we can sign a fucking Russell Wilson or some other veteran quarterback on their tail end of the career, not named Aaron Rodgers.
The
Um,
the Eagles didn't sign. They drafted uh,
I'm
Jalen
saying we
Hurts.
can we can we can say we have Tyrone Tracy as our running back. If we can build around him and have a somewhat decent quarterback, veteran quarterback, then maybe we can be somewhat decent because Carson Wentz isn't exactly the greatest quarterback. They literally just relied on Saquon the whole season. So
You called him Carson Wentz. His name is Jalen Hurts, and he's pretty good.
whatever, tomato tomato.
Two
Those fucking
time
Eagle quarterbacks.
two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. By the way,
Oh yeah, good for him.
it feels so good to be a Bears fan right now and hear other people talk about how their team's offense, they need a quarterback, they need a wide receiver. Motherfucker, we got the quarterback, we got the wide
We don't
receivers, we
we
got
don't
the
really
tight
need
end,
wide receivers, but
we got
I'm
the
saying
O
we could
line.
draft.
We finally live in a world where the Bears have an O line. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
sure
It
they do.
feels so damn good. And now Caleb Williams, you're gonna
Sure
see
they do.
Caleb Williams with a freaking O line. Now,
Yeah, sure.
last year it was Caleb Williams has the best weapons of a number one overall pick. The problem is you can have all the weapons in the world. If you ain't got no line, you're not gonna win. And they had no O
You
line.
don't
And
understand how badly I want to see the Bears fail.
I hope
Just the
I
fuck with you.
you know what? I hope the Giants go 0-17 and we win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, at least one of those options is more likely to happen than the other, and it's not the Bears winning the Super Bowl.
You guys going 0-17 is you're saying that's
Yeah, a better chance of us doing that than you do the Bears winning the Super Bowl.
going 0-17 is not easy. Obviously, when you're not trying to do something, it's not easy. I don't think the Giants have that bad a team. Obviously, they don't have a quarterback, and they're
We
not one of
lo-
the better teams in the league currently, but they're not that bad. They're not '08 Lions bad.
we will see.
I don't think we're going to see Tommy DeVito running out of bounds, running
He's
inside
not
zone
going to
end
be our
zone.
quarterback. He's not going to be our. He's the only
But
quarterback we have on the roster right now
if
by
he's if
default.
he's not if he's not going to be your quarterback, I highly doubt you're going to go 0-17. If
He's
he
our
is,
backup.
if he's your, I highly doubt you're going to go 0-17.
You never know. Can't wait for the season to start so I can predict the Giants going 11 and something again and be unbelievably
Also,
wrong.
we're gonna do another preview for the Giants and Bears fan reviews. See, I
Obviously,
guess
that's what
this year we'll start off with you because you guys have, depending on what you do with the pick, you might even trade up and have the first pick. You're gonna have one of the fresh new quarterbacks in this year's draft. So we'll start with you going down the Giants schedule. Like last year, we started me going down the Bears schedule because we obviously had Caleb Williams. We still have Caleb Williams, but he's going to be year
lost,
two.
lost,
You got
lost,
the
lost,
brand
lost,
new
lost,
quarterback.
lost, 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 lost. Oh, look at that. We go
You're
into
not supposed to go through your team's schedule already. We're not previewing.
I
We
know.
don't.
I'm joking.
No, last year you freaking again. He's a homer. He's a homer. He went. He
So
did
are
not
you.
seriously. I'm not
You're
a
a homer.
homer.
You thought the
I
Bears were going to be great last year.
I went as serious as I could with our schedule, and I
Didn't
stood by that.
didn't you think
I
that you were
did
going to
think we
sweep
were
the
going to be.
Vikings?
I did think we were going to sweep the Vikings. I still don't think the Vikings are all that. They do have a tremendous defense. They've now lost their leader on defense because he's now uh, Flores became a head coach, right?
I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. So they don't have Brian Flores anymore. Uh, I think we're better than the Vikings. I still believe we're better than the Lions, especially now. If Ben Johnson was literally the answer for Detroit, then we're absolutely going to be better than Detroit. But the thing about whatever the hell his name is, Goff, when we have a great defense, Goff always gives us the ball. And the defensive coordinator that we hired, uh, I always forget his damn name. But this was a guy that when he was the Saints defensive coordinator and Tom Brady was a Buck, the Saints would always be that Saint defense beat up on Tom Brady. So if he can put together a defense that beats up on Tom Brady, he can absolutely put together a defense that beats up on Jared Goff. I still believe we're better than the Lions and Vikings. I'm still worried about the Packers, although I don't know. Jordan Love didn't really have he sort of took a bit of a step back when you compare the year he had first to but if I'm worried about one team in that division, it's the Packers. I said that last year in the preview, and I still feel that way.
Yeah, yeah.
But hopefully, we build on that Week 17 game where we finally fucking beat the Packers. Hopefully, we build on that.
Meaningless.
Hopefully, Green Bay goes backwards. Uh, yeah, we'll see about that. But on March 26th, we will be previewing the Mets season. I believe opening day is literally the next day, right?
Yep, we go down to Houston to face the cheaters.
There you go. Well, anyway, that's a long time ago. Most of the players from that team aren't even there anymore, but
And they didn't even face any punishments.
we will after that at the beginning of April, we will recap the month of March, which is starting to look a hell of a lot better. It's crazy how two games can all of a sudden change everything. It's like
That's
it
one of
just
the.
depends.
It's because the East is pretty dog shit that we're. The East is so bad that we're still somehow in it with all the other crappy teams.
All you got to do is get in it. Right now, Ilya Sorokin is playing great
I
behind in
wonder.
front. Yeah.
I wonder if we get in as the second wild card, we gotta have to face the Hurricanes again in the
Will
first fucking round.
will Mighty Molly be their sidekick though? If we get
Uh,
that,
Who's Money Molly? I think you're talking about Molly Holly.
yeah, the Hurricanes.
The her. Oh
The,
yeah.
the Hurricanes talk about fumbling like Adrian Peterson at that trade deadline, man. First of all, to even trade for Miko Rantanen, you're giving up a young, solid young goal scorer in Jack Drury, and then you trade a guy who's been the heart and soul and one of the bigger reasons as to why they've been so consistent. And fuck is the dude's name they traded? Oh my gosh, what's his name? You know who I'm talking about, right? You know the trade. Miko Rantanen, they gave up Jack Drury and
I don't remember.
oh my
Uh,
god.
was it Aho? Did they give
No,
up?
it obviously wasn't Aho. They really would have fumbled the deadline.
Don't worry. Don't. They're keeping Aho specifically just to face us in the playoffs.
Oh, they
Same reason why we had fucking Holofsky towards the end of his
yeah,
career.
and
You
the
you
guy
ain't
they
you ain't
traded,
play you ain't playing until we face the Rangers. Holof.
the guy they traded was killed us in those playoff series as well.
Was his name Tony D'Angelo?
No,
I think I know where he is.
yeah, he'll be playing for us if we make the playoffs. Yeah, trade. Let me see. Uh, let's see. Hold on. Here's a downside of the Miko Ranton trade for Dallas. Oh no, that's Dallas Stars one. Hold on. Okay, I will say this though. I will say, even though they fumbled the whole situation, when they flipped him, they got an even better return, getting I think a pick, first round pick, and Logan Stankoven. So they may have fumbled it, but I think the second part of the trade, the when they actually trade him, it was a better move than actually trading for him. But yeah, here we go. Three-way deal with Avalanche. This is it. Where is it? Yeah, Marty Natchez. Marty Natchez was the heart and soul of that team, a big part of why they were so consistent. You traded Jack Jury, very young, solid player, and Marty Natchez, and you essentially just tore up two parts of that core. And but to turn around and trade him and get a solid young player like Logan Stankoven, that's huge. But
Don't
yeah,
worry,
there you go.
we'll face the Capitals in the first round.
We would beat the Capitals. I really think that.
We'll face Ovechkin as he breaks the record against us.
Hopefully not. You
I
for
feel,
one. Well, the one time you're not a homer. Oh, I really want
I'm
him to break the record against us just so I can be there. Come
I'm
on.
not even saying I want him. I'm not even saying I want the Capitals to win. I want them to lose and still have him break it in front of us.
I want them to lose, and I want Ovechkin to be off the score sheet for both of those games. I
No.
don't care that you're there, and maybe you can sell the ticket a couple of years from now, make a bunch of money. I don't care. I don't want him to break.
Don't you want golden microphones, Frank? Think of the golden microphone. Because
I do not.
apparently they count like playoff goals towards like the total goals
Do
of
they? I
of a
don't think
career.
so. I don't think so.
I think they do because someone was like, "Oh, maybe he'll break it in the playoffs." I'm like,
There's
they
no way.
count that?
The person who said that, I don't think he knows what he's talking. He or she knows what they are talking about.
I was gonna say because I'm pretty sure Gretzky had like a ton of.
Yeah. If you were counting playoffs, Gretzky'd probably be way ahead
Well,
right now.
you know what they like to say about Ovechkin? They're like, "Oh, well, it doesn't really count because he scored like this many empty net goals." It's
Oh,
like,
please.
oh my god. And Wayne Gretzky didn't. I wonder why. It's probably because goaltenders were dog shit back then. You want to get technical. It's like, well, the Gretzky's record shouldn't count because the goaltenders didn't know how to go to the butterfly yet. They were
Yeah.
literally standing up. Billy Smith was only good because everyone fucking feared his ass. Back back then, they didn't know how to get into the butterfly. They were standing up and doing barely able to block shots.
You know who has the real goals record?
Who?
Cassie Carlisle.
Of course.
That is the character from Ice Princess. She is the real goals leader, even though for whatever reason in that whole movie we never see her hold a hockey stick. There's never any nets on the ice. We never see a puck. I don't get it. How is this an ice? How is this an ice movie if there's no pucks, no nets, no skates? I don't get it.
I'm surprised we didn't get any hockey movies from Disney Channel in that time. They were always big on that. Girls can play basketball. Girls can do this. Girls cannot play hockey.
Do you not watch the PWHL though? Girls can definitely play hockey.
I'm talking about like in the 2000s, back when it
Oh,
was
I know
on
what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But
PWHL.
those people were wrong because the PWHL is awesome. Give me the PWHL over WNBA. Although Kelsey Plum is amazing. You will get banned from this for any
I
Kelsey
thought you were
Plum.
going to say Caitlin Clark. I was going to say, oh yes,
No, of
Caitlin,
the
Caitlin. I'm sorry for being white and making this sport
of
popular for the first time ever. White
Caitlin
Clark.
Clark's class, Cameron Brink. Cameron Brink and Kelsey Plum, and they're teammates now because they both were traded. Or no, they weren't. Kelsey was traded to Cameron's team, so you know. But still, I would take PWHL over WNBA any day. Any Kelsey Plum hate will get you permanent banned. By the way,
Kelsey Plum sucks. Oh man.
so yeah, we've went over the show like an hour ago. I've already said everything that's coming up, and yet here we still are about to go 2 hours in.
Yep.
Anything else to
Nope.
talk about? All right, then that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow for the go home show to Unforgiven 2000.